Okay.
Because I started hanging out with the wrong crowd, doing the wrong shit, and couldn't do it because we weren't married at the time, but had 2 kids.
Yeah.
Just going down a bad road. Said I gotta get the hell out of here.
Hey, you recognized it.
Yeah.
What kind of bad road?
Getting into the dope and shit like that.
Okay.
Drugs.
Yeah. It's funny. A lot of people. I didn't notice it until I got even recently, maybe in the last 2 years, the amount of people I've been hearing and just noticing. I mean, I don't really pay much attention to people around here, but not that I have anything against them. It's just I just don't. I'm too busy.
Well, that was past with the pills and stuff with who I used to run around with, and eventually they stopped working. Get to the next thing. I never jabbed myself, but it ain't no better than anyway.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I feel like once you get to that point, there's not much coming back.
I did cold turkey, joined the military, stopped everything. To this day, I won't even take a painkiller.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I don't even like taking aspirin or nothing. I don't take any kind of pills.
Really?
Not one. Yeah.
See, Brandy yells at me. If I got a fucking hiccup, I take 2 or 3 Motrin.
After they pulled the IV painkillers out, they tried to give me like Oxycontins, this and that. Nope.
Really?
I did 2 months. 2 months, like no painkillers. It sucked, but
you would be surprised the amount. I'm sure. I don't know if you know the amount of stories I hear from guys military, and they're like, after that, I didn't want to take anything. Like I refuse to take it. Now I don't know if it's because of their past and like.
It's very addicting, and they're just gonna keep feeding it to you, so you can do your job and keep doing what they're paying you to do, because that's all they really care about in the end.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, if you're not fit for duty, what good are you for me?
Yeah. And I got questions on that then. So you made the decision to join. You decided the Army against the Air Force way of life.
No, the Army was really the only one to take me with not having a high school diploma.
Right.
The Army actually said, we'll send you to go get your GED down in, I went and took the ASVAB first time. And I needed at least a 51 or a 50 on my score, with not having a GED to get sent to this class.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So I failed that. I got a 49 first time.
Okay.
A couple months later, I got 51. So all right, so you're eligible for this program now, which is it was called Army Preparatory School at Fort Jackson, South Carolina. And they send you there. You go do, I think it was 6 hours of classroom shit, school learning shit to build you back up for your GED. At that time, I was 2009, so 21? Oh, no, I was 23, sorry. Somewhere, 22, 23. So I'm I don't remember shit from school. So they reboot me back up. We do 4 or 5 hours school training, and then, they train us for the Army, get ready for basic.
Oh, yeah, okay.
And then every 4 weeks they test you for your GED.
How long were you down there?
A month.
Oh,
so I got there.
Right.
So my first test, because they do the schooling to kind of refresh you, and it takes a month. So at the end of that month, they'll test you to see if you pass for your GED.
Right.
I passed my first time, and then it was right around July 4th, actually. Because I remember they sent us to a baseball game. And it was pretty cool. We couldn't drink or nothing like this because, hell, we weren't even really in the Army, but we were.
Yeah, okay. Yeah,
then they sent me off to Fort Benning for my basic early July, which sucked because it's the hottest time of the year.
Yeah. That's one base I haven't been to is Benning yet.
Really? That's the biggest Army training base there is.
We never had, it's all infantry stuff, and we're combat engineers. They never sent. We always have to go to Leonard Wood.
Oh yeah.
And usually if we need to do some sort of giant exercise, we're attached to a different unit. Right now it's Polk. They just keep sending us to Polk.
Polk.
Fuck. So you were there so you didn't go to basic. They sent you here.
Yeah,
4 weeks.
Yep, I was. But they gave me all my clothes, all my ACUs,
all
everything.
Issue,
yeah, I was we had to get up at 4:30 for PT. We were in the military, but we really weren't.
So who was in charge of you? Not drill sergeants.
No, it was just old crusty sergeants that couldn't go. They were
the
broke
guys?
Yeah, the broke dicks. The ones that are mad that they're there, so it's just taking shit out on you more. They were worse than my drill instructors.
Really?
Oh yeah, they were so much worse.
So what? What was their MO? Just. Did you say
mixture.
Broke guys?
Yeah, it was a mixture. It was a couple infantry series, whatever. It's just whoever wasn't fit for duty and they didn't want to get out and they were close to their time of retirement or whatever.
Yeah.
They'd send them over there.
That sounds like a pretty sweet gig, in my opinion.
They hated it.
I don't know why.
They're dealing with a bunch of kids that
so what?
they don't want to deal with.
You don't have to deal with your regular fucking knuckleheads. Wow. No,
Yeah.
all right. So
I
that's
remember
cool.
having to cut grass with a plastic spoon. Yeah. I don't know what happened, but it was mass punishment.
Yeah.
The whole company, like, something happened. They found something in somebody's room or something or another, and they're like, you know what? We need a grass cut. So they issued everybody a plastic spoon. Go cut the grass.
Oh my
So there's good 100 privates out there and just cutting grass with a spoon.
Yeah. So how big was, like, how many people were there with you?
With me, I think my class was like 30, but then they had like 4 other buildings for that.
Okay.
So it was, 30 times 4 is...
Yeah, 120,
Yeah.
something like that. No shit.
Yeah.
And that was just your class? Like, that was...
Yeah, that was, they did that for a few years. I was one of the last ones to do it.
Okay.
Because that was when they were like big boosts. Like
They wanted numbers.
Yeah, they're starting to push into... I think it was towards the end of Iraq, beginning of like pushing into Afghanistan.
Mm-hmm.
So they're just trying to push people through.
No shit. No, I never heard of that. That's fucking nuts. What was the program? It was just a GED program?
Army Preparatory School.
No shit.
Yep.
At Jackson.
Fort Jackson.
You know what's funny? And what time frame was that? That was what?
June 2009.
No
Because
shit.
my entry date was June 2nd. That's when I left MEPS, 09. And then I got to Fort Benning second week. It was right after July 4th
Wow.
when I got to Benning.
My ex, she joined, it had to be like December 08, because I think she got to Jackson somewhere in 2009 or something like that. And I used to drive down from Lejeune and kind of like see what was going on. But I think she graduated something like February, March or something like that of 09. So yeah, that was the last time I was at Jackson. But I always went there as like a visitor.
They kept us real. We weren't allowed to like talk to anybody really. They kept us real tight because Jackson's a big training base as well.
Yeah.
Well, I think it still is. But yeah, they kept us in our own little group. We ate chow at our own little time. Yeah. Like, you're not allowed to socialize with them. Like, all right, whatever.
So how were you? Like, I was nervous as fuck going to Marine Corps boot camp. I was nervous and I was fucking timid.
Yeah, going there I was, but then once I actually went to basic training, I was already over the missing my family. I was already over the oh shit, what's going on? What's going to happen? Like, I already kind of had a military bearing-ish.
Right.
So when I actually got to basic, that was a lot easier.
Right.
Basic went smooth as shit. I was a PG, like platoon guy, like
okay.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
For 9 weeks straight. Like, they just came up to me like, you're fired because we need to put somebody else in there. Like,
Yeah.
all right.
Yeah, you didn't do anything wrong.
No, it's just they needed somebody else put in that role so they can teach them. But, but it was just so easy because I already had all that. I learned all this stuff from back in the prep school.
Yeah.
Because they really, as crusty and angry as they were, they did a good job. They really trained us pretty good, got us ready for basic. And I went in that mind frame, was like, let's do it.
Yeah. Isn't that weird how you look back on it and you're like, at the time, you're like, fuck these guys. And then a couple years later, you're like, they fucking taught me something. Yeah.
I think it was a lot easier, too, because I was older.
Yeah, that's too.
I was 23.
Yeah.
So I'm not 18, fresh out of school, figuring shit out.
Yeah. We had a couple older guys. Now, my roommate, and I'll tell you about him in a little bit, he joined probably around when you joined. Probably like he was 23 at the time. And he had a little bit of like it wasn't a discipline problem, but the Marine Corps saw it as that just because of the way he talked to people.
Yeah.
Because he's older. He's like, like I'm fucking a grown man. Like I can talk to another grown man. But of course, like a sergeant major, he's like, I'm not fucking your buddy. And then me at 18, I was like, fucking yes sir, no sir. And it's like after a certain point, it's not sir anymore. It's sergeant or corporal or whatever the fuck. So I'm getting yelled at for calling them sirs. But so what was it like?
For a living.
Well, yeah. I'm not a sir. Yeah.
Yeah.
What's the what was it like when you got to infantry basic and you saw? Because again, you said you already kind of like acclimated to it.
Like I showed up
at the other guys.
I showed up there and I'm already in uniform, like sitting there with all these kids just getting off the bus, like in the planes or wherever they got off of. They have no idea what's going on. And like, all right, so then all the drill instructors or drill sergeants come down for like we call it the shark attack. That's when they come. Our drill sergeants come down and get us, and you got to grab all your shit, do this, do that, and everything. And they look at us because there's a couple of us. They're like, "Who the fuck are you? And why are you in uniform already?" I'm like, well, we came from, and they start screaming at us, and we had it worse off because we had to carry 2 duffel bags, like, of our military gear, then our personal shit, and we had to run up this fucking hill to our barracks to drop it off. Everybody else only has, like, their backpack.
Yeah.
So you got us I think there's like 4 or 5 of us, and we got 2 duffels or all our shit. We're just like sucking, yelling at us, screaming, "Get up the hill, let's go! You're already in. Why are you being such a piece of shit? Hurry up!" Like, oh my God, they're not carrying all the shit. Then we started saying that, then they'd yell at us some more.
Oh yeah, you actually said it. You're like,
yeah. Well, I don't know if I did. Somebody did.
Yeah.
But yeah, they're just yelling at us. You know how it is. Your first initial meeting, we're in charge. We're screaming at you. Fuck off.
Yeah.
Don't care what you have to say, but we're gonna ask questions, hoping you're gonna answer.
Yeah.
Just so we can yell at you some more. But it was funny. Looking back at it, it was definitely funny now. Like what they'd yell at us for. Like my duffel bag was flipped around the wrong way. And that's not how I told you to put them. Like, well, you never really told me how to put it in the first place.
Yeah. Oh God. Well, for us, like right when you get to Marine Corps boot camp, basic training boot camp, and you go in, they do the whole get off my bus thing, and then you go in and you make your phone call, and they cut your hair and everything. But there's a moment where they're like, you're standing in line, and the drill instructor's got this box, and there's like a clear plastic something on top of it, but there's like a light under it. And what you're supposed to do is take your shoes and socks off and stand on this box, and I think it's like something so the drill instructor can see if like you have like a foot fungus. Yeah, something like that. So after that, he tells you to get off the box and put your socks and shoes back on. And right next to the area that we were standing in was a bench. So like I sat down and started putting my socks and shoes on, and he fucking yells at me. He's like, "I didn't fucking tell you to sit down." And I was like, well, "You didn't say not to sit."
Yeah.
You know? But yeah, just the stupid retarded shit that they do. But so I always heard, and you can correct me, I mean, I don't know if you know hindsight, but infantry basic in the Army is like the hardest.
I don't know. It's basic training, like overall basic training for the Army, like no matter what job you're taking, is what, 8 weeks? Like, because everybody's trained to be a soldier, first off. So then you got your AIT or your whatever your job training is. I don't know what they call it in the Marines.
Yeah.
Is an extra. We did the one site training, is where you did your 8 weeks of basic, just being a soldier, learning how to be a soldier. And then we went right into our infantry training, kept our same drill instructors and everything.
Yeah, yeah.
So, but me being a mortar, I had an extra week longer than regular infantry.
Okay.
Now, I don't know if it's harder or not. I'm sure it is, because, I don't know, just being combat arms, I guess, and being what everybody perceives. You know, you got all these civilians out there, the infantry. That's one of the biggest things that everybody sees. They don't know all the jobs in the military,
right.
Infantry. So we got to be the best of the best. So they hounded on us pretty hard, but I think just going through that month-long over in Jackson, it smoothed everything out for me. It basically was pretty easy for me compared to some others.
That's fucking nuts. And if you would have told me at 18 that I had to do a month longer than what... Now, I already did an extra month. I got sick. I got pneumonia in boot camp, so they kicked me back. I think I was at like training week 4.
Yeah.
And they kicked me all the way back to training week, beginning of training week 2. So I had to do like an extra 3 weeks. But if you would have said, hey, you got to go for a month prior and then go, I would have been like, fuck you.
Well, that's if you pass your test, too. If you didn't pass your
You
GD
longer.
test, you stay for at least another month.
Oh,
because you got to go for another 3-4 weeks or 3.5 weeks of classroom shit.
Yeah.
And then test out again.
Right.
And I just got lucky. I tested out my first month. I was horrible in school. I didn't pay attention.
Oh, I was too. I didn't fucking care.
I always told my English teacher, I don't need this class. I know how to read, write, and spell-ish, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't need you, so I'd fall asleep in my class.
Well, fuck, you don't even know how to... You don't need to know how to spell anymore because autocorrect does it for you on your phone.
That's when the math teacher always said, you're not always going to have a calculator on you.
Yeah.
Well, guess what?
Yeah,
now we do.
Fucking do it.
Yeah.
But I mean, looking back on, if I would have had to do a month prior, and I understand why you did, at 18, I would have said, fuck no. But now, thinking about it, if I had a prep before I went into, because again, I was timid, I was scared, I was nervous.
It made it so much better. Because that's how I was going into the prep school.
Yeah.
So then going into basic, where now I'm getting into the real shit.
Yeah.
Just, I already knew like what to say, when to say it, how to stand, how to act. It's like, it made my life so much easier.
That sounds like if I could go back and do it, I wish I would have. Knowing this now, if I had the opportunity to do something before going to Marine Corps boot camp.
Well, you would have had to fail high school, though.
Yeah. Hey, look, again, having to go to summer school to get my fucking diploma.
But I actually got approached by the Marine recruiters. I was doing some concrete job, and they're like, hey, you want to join the Marines? I'm like, well, I don't have a diploma. They're like, bye.
Yeah.
All right, see you later.
and they push so hard. Matter of fact, I was on my way to work this morning. It was like 7:20, 7:25, and I was driving on 22, and I looked over, and I saw a government license plate, and I looked in. I was like, it's got to be recruiters. So I looked in. I saw the Marine Corps hat. And I was like, these motherfuckers. So I used to do recruiting duty with the Marines, recruiters. It wasn't Marine recruiting duty, but it was recruiters' assistance. And every day was like 7 o'clock on the dot. And then even like Saturdays.
Army's a little laid back more than Marines.
It was like, okay, maybe it's a weekend. Like, you're not going to have to work. Nope. It was 7 o'clock or something like that on the dot. Man, they are notorious for just being ridiculous. But it's funny, as much as they work and as much as they have to get people, the requirements to join the Marine Corps are just fucking outrageous. And I remember when I joined, I came home from boot camp. I remember after boot camp, you get 7.5 days of leave, but they extend it to like 10. And you're supposed to do like recruiter's assistance with your recruiter. And my recruiters were like, hey, welcome back. You got any buddies that want to join? I was like, yeah, I got a buddy. I said, his name's Jeremy Talbot. So we went over. Oh, man, you should have.
Talbot.
You should have saw all my recruiters from my office loaded up in the car because like he's got shit. Yeah, somebody fell. They're like, McBride's got somebody, so they fucking loaded up. Boy. We took 3 cars to go over there, show up because he lived somewhere. I don't know what the fuck.
He lived out there.
Yeah. We show up and they're like, hey, nice to meet you. You're buddies with him, and he laid it on him that he was on probation, and my fucking recruiter's face is all fucking turned and looking like. I was the worst fucking thing that they ever saw in their life. They're like, you fucking asshole. You didn't know he was on probation. I was like, no, I didn't know he was on probation. I was like, whatever, man. But, yeah, he wanted to join. And again, just the way that they rolled out, they're like, fucking let's go. Like, everybody hopped in a car, and we fucking rolled up, again, 3 cars deep on this one kid. And I was like, dude, you guys are something else.
Wow, like they done better do.
Yeah, well, they get super excited and stoked if they have a potential candidate to join. So... Again, same kind of thing. I was on recruiter's assistance a little bit later, and one of my recruiters, it was actually both the recruiters from my office were in the front seat. I was in the back seat. I think I was a Lance Corporal at the time. They were both sergeants, and we had to get gas. So they pull into a gas station, and the driver got out to obviously fuel up, and the sergeant in the passenger seat looks over, and like a few pumps down, there was a girl pumping gas, and I don't know if he thought she was attractive or whatever.
Yeah.
He's like looking at her, and he's like, hey, McBride, why don't you go and see if she wants to join the Marine Corps? And I was like, ha ha ha, Sergeant, ha ha ha, still sitting in the back seat. And he goes, no, man, like, I'm serious. Like, why don't you go see if she wants to join? I was like, oh, okay, ha ha ha. So I'm like minding my business, and like, dude's still pumping gas. Next thing, like, the guy in the passenger seat gets out of the car and comes to my back door, whips the back door open, and starts screaming at me. He's like, when I give you a fucking order, you fucking go, you execute it. Dude, I thought you were being like joking. He goes, I fucking tell you to do something, you do it. And I was like, oh,
all right.
Aye, Sergeant, like whatever.
But yeah, just Navy things.
Oh, yeah.
Well, aye.
I never did aye. I did aye. But I heard in San Diego they do aye for boot camp. But yeah, no, recruiting duty is absolutely fucking bullshit. But
I was supposed to, like, after I did basic, I came back. I got, your 10 days. Mm-hmm. Well, they gave me an extra 20 on top, so I was home for 30 because I had the 20 days of hometown recruiter, they called it.
Okay, yeah.
I showed up, and my recruiter wasn't there anymore. And I think there's one there that actually remembered me. He goes, let me see your paper. Signs off on it. So I got 20 days extra just home. Like, didn't have to do nothing. It was cool.